Welcome, biking fans and board gaming fans alike, to the Flamme Rouge playthrough, Le Tour de Warfield. I'm Jack Warren. I'm joined by my friend, Sunnyfield. Sunny, why don't you tell our viewers what we have in store for them today?
Thanks, Jack. Today, a peloton of plastic will careen down the cardboard crucible that is Plywood Raceway in the Field of War 72, the first race in Le Tour de Warfield. They will be using Flamme Rouge rules. Flamme Rouge is a card game. You can see these exhausted cards here. Flamme Rouge is a card game where each rider will draw 4 cards per turn. They'll select one of these cards, which will have a number of spaces to move. The cards they don't select will be recycled for later, but the cards they do use cannot be used again. The other riders will impact where they go in the race, as will the track itself. I think it's okay. One of the red riders there took a bit of a spill. The track and the other riders will impact what happens. So it's not just about the car play. My eyes will be glued to the racetrack. What about you, Jack?
Absolutely. And now our riders are starting to take the course. We have several teams here today. All of the teams and riders have been submitted by viewers of Jackson's Warfield. The first round here, this is just random selection to decide who gets to go where. And you see we have assistance by the great disembodied arm to make the placements on the track, and this arm will also be making the movements throughout the course of the race. Now let's get to know our riders. In black are the Twilight Children, with sprinter Mike Yellow and rouleur Chris T. O'Furlow. Mike Yellow will be using a chaotic strategy today, and Chris T. a conservative strategy. We'll see if Chris T. lives up to his nickname, Chris T. Cream.
I don't know how he'll live up to that name.
I'm not sure either. In red, we have Team Boatship, with sprinter Mike Tyson and rouleur Escape Pastis.
Is Boatship a reference to something?
To be honest, I was a bit afraid to look that one up. Mike Tyson will be using an aggressive strategy, unsurprisingly, and Escape Pastis with a conservative strategy. The riders of Rohan in white are A.O. Murr, the chaotic sprinter, and Uncle Theo, the aggressive rouleur. In blue are the C-word riders, with sprinter Jim Lee and rouleur Meeple Pleaser. Meeple Pleaser of the C-word riders.
Are you sure it's not Gim Lee?
Now's not the time for that debate, okay?
What do you mean? I'm not even sure what you're referring to.
He doesn't like peanut butter. We don't know if he likes peanut butter.
What? I don't understand what that has to do with anything.
Moving on to the Power Fist Rangers in pink. Sprinter Finn Alm is deploying a conservative strategy today, and it will be accompanied by rouleur the Purple Sushi, who will be going aggressively. And finally, in green is Team Boulder Dash, with sprinter Peter Pandemic and rouleur Kaz Mick-Encounter.
It's not Peter Pandemic?
No, sometimes you just pronounce it differently depending on the context. Like Palestin, Ohio. Have you ever been to Palestin?
No, I try to avoid the Browns.
I'm assuming you mean Browns fans.
Yeah, them too.
Those are riders today. Aggressive strategies will choose the fastest card in each hand. Conservative strategies will choose the slowest non-fatigue card in hand, and chaotic riders will just choose the first card. We have now begun the bidding form for the breakaway. Each team gets to send one rider in Flamme Rouge to be a breakaway rider, which starts the race 5 spaces ahead of the rest of the field. For this phase, we go down to the team boxes where we have reporter and wine enthusiast Pino Keo. Pino, tell us who you got your eyes on.
Well, Jack, I gotta tell you, I got my eyes on Mike Tyson. You know, word is that the team principal got in his ear saying it was time to go. He did not appreciate him getting in his ear like that, but I got my eye on him as he's got an aggressive strategy, and he might go really hard out here, really fast. Go for that bit of a knockout punch. Back to you, Jack.
Thanks, Pino. Yes, and it looks like Mike Tyson and Theo, Uncle Theo, that is, have won the bid. So they move out into the first row here. So you see they got a major breakaway, but they're faced with some weather here. We got crosswinds in the early part of the track. Let's fly along here in Sunny's drone. Sunny, why don't you take us through Plywood Raceway?
Plywood Raceway begins with a long wide straight before you get into turn 1, which goes right into an uphill right along the grass here. Here we go around some wargaming terrain before a little bit of a downhill. Overall, the track does see a bit of elevation gain. The chicane here through the trees provided by Woodland Scenics, here provides an opportunity for riders to catch their breath a bit before entering into what today will be a bit of a headwind. So to come around that bunker there,
Sonny, what's that? What are you doing?
Sorry, I thought a second drone would be better. I'm trying to control this from up here.
Okay, well, let's focus on the rest of the race.
Yeah, so after a bit of a headwind today, you'll be going into another uphill. Riders will be going to another uphill before a short downhill into the final stretch, where they actually have a bit of a tailwind, which means that the riders will get to choose more cards in hand before they get to the finish line. And they will ride off into the plywood and maybe into the grass. They're going fast enough.
Thanks, Sonny. We have now a bit of a change here. It looks like Bike Tyson technically won the first position here, and we'll start actually to the right of Uncle Theo. That is, riders to the right are actually ahead of riders to the left in forms of tiebreakers. And now we're making our card selections here. Pino, what's going on down there?
Well, Jack, it looks like because of the crosswind in the first section of the track, if you don't start off well, you're not going to get the draft.
That's right, Pino. Now, in Flamme Rouge, if you finish with one space between the rider in front of you and yourself, you get to move up a space for free. That is, unless you're faced with a crosswind, or if you're in an uphill section of the track, or cobblestones, which aren't coming into play here. Disembodied hand is moving the riders. Looks like we have some aggressive movement, as expected, from Bike Tyson. We'll see who's able to keep up with him. Uncle Theo now coming around, going into the first turn.
Our aerial footage is brought to you by Jackson's work phone. Remember, if you have a work phone and it's time for an upgrade, there's no reason to trade in the old work phone. Just keep it out and use it as an extra camera. This message is brought to you by Jackson's work phone.
The Twilight Children, Boat Ship, and the Riders of Rohan all starting out front here. We're going to see who gets a big leap. It doesn't look like anybody's keeping up with Bike Tyson or Uncle Theo.
Well, that's a really big lead. I don't know if that's going to be a good idea. They're probably going to get pretty tired.
That's right, Sonny. Fatigue is a big factor in Flamme Rouge. If you finish without anyone in front of you in a turn, as the Uncle Theo getting a bit of a draft behind Bike Tyson, you will take a fatigue card. So this round we have Bike Tyson, Jim Lee, and Peter Pandemic will all be taking fatigue cards here. And now after it looks like round one, Bike Tyson is in the lead with 1 spot lead over Uncle Theo, with Jim Lee in third, but a full 8 spaces behind. Going into turn 2, you'll notice it's getting a little bit darker. So you see, the Field of War 72 is an outdoor race, and we're hoping that the operators of Plywood Raceway will be able to fire up the lights shortly so as to not create any safety risks for our riders.
I don't know about that. Jack, I ride in the dark all the time.
Yeah, and without any reflectors. I wouldn't advise our viewers abide by the safety protocols of Sunny Field here.
What does that mean, Jack? Why do you got to speak to me, refer to me in second person like that?
I think that's technically referring to you in third person.
Either way.
Pino, what are you seeing down in the boxes?
Bike Tyson is going with more strong cards here. He's got another 9 coming out. I don't know how many 9s he's got, but he's going for the knockout punch.
All right, wow, it's actually really dark here as we start to move the riders. It looks like Bike Tyson has a bit of a suboptimal play here.
That's right, Bike has lost. When you go uphill, as Bike Tyson's starting to go uphill, you cannot go more than 5 spaces in a turn. So Bike has wasted at least 4 spaces out of his 9 play.
Well, Sonny, that's a big problem he's going to have to overcome. There's a lot of racing yet to go. And it doesn't look like our other riders are doing a job keeping organized. You see, Purple Sushi has joined the C-Word riders, and they can't seem to get organized. All 3 of them are going to be seeing fatigue cards added this round. That's a major problem. We actually have no drafting this round, as Finn Alm now is 1 space behind, but is in the crosswind section of the track.
Sorry, well, I'm going a little bit all over the place with my drone here.
Trying to get motion 6, Sonny.
Can't promise that.
That's a lot of fatigue cards we got going out here on turn 2, as we will now have Bike Tyson with the lead by 1 over Uncle Theo, who's riding in his win, with fatigue cards from Jim Lee, Meeple Pleaser, and Purple Sushi in that second pack. Turn 3 now. It looks like we have the lights on. Pino, is that helping you see?
Well, I can see it was getting pretty dark out here. It was as dark as the belly of a whale. So we've basically turned on effectively a fire that's going to smoke out all of the bugs. Or actually, no, it's bringing more of the bugs in.
Pino, let us know if you need some bug spray, as it looks like the riders are coming around the turn. Bike Tyson has made it to the top of the hill, but not quite. With Uncle Theo, you see, they're right at the descent, but they're not on the descent yet. If you start your turn on a descent, then a card of 2. Sonny, what are you doing here?
Sorry, Jack. I'm really just trying to get a better angle here for the camera.
You can't bring your drone all the way on the track like that.
Yes, I can. I'm part of the television crew.
As I was saying, if a rider begins a turn on the downhill, they go at least 5 spaces in a turn, which is a great way to use up an exhaustion car, but no one seems to be doing that. In fact, almost everybody is taking fatigue this turn.
Well, they're going to be very tired.
Thanks, Sonny. Yes, and it looks like half the field, or more than half the field, 7 riders are taking fatigue this turn. I have to say, this crosswind has really thrown a monkey wrench into everyone's plans. Come here at the finish of turn 3. Bike Tyson and Uncle Theo are tied, though they're both taking fatigue out at the front. And Sonny just won't keep his drone off the racetrack. Going into turn 4 now. Pino, is there a rider we should be keeping our eyes on here?
Well, Jack, I'm not gonna lie. I've got my eyes on the Twilight Children as they don't seem to be taking much fatigue as they take their turns. They're the only team that seems to avoid fatigue. And this is getting very tiring to try and keep up with everything. There's a lot of cards flipping around at the same time. I don't know how anyone else has done this job before. This is a bit of a challenge. I'm trying to give updates.
Thanks, Pino. We'll just do what we can here to see what's going on now. We said Bike Tyson looks to be running out of speed a little bit as Uncle Theo has jumped in front of him. A bike might be able to get a bit of a draft here as the second pack is also now making the uphill.
Yeah, our lead pack is going to make a bit of a breakaway. We'll see if they can keep that distance for the entirety of the race. There are many opportunities early in this track to get a bit of a gap between you and the rider behind you.
Yeah, and it looks like we have some of our conservative sprinters are having a little bit of trouble here with Finn Alm and Peter Pandemic, neither of which seems to be able to catch the draft on the other as they keep losing ground to the pack. We have a lot of riders now picking up on the draft of the riders in front of them. Again, you cannot take a draft if you're on an uphill or if you're in a crosswind. And Uncle Theo is taking the lead here. I don't know what the plan is for Finn Alm and for Peter Pandemic. This seems like too big of a gap for them to recover. They got uphills still to go.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're just trying to save up for races 4 through 5 in the competition.
Well, that's a bit of a problem because you carry over fatigue cards from one race to the next. At least half of your fatigue cards get carried with you. Now beginning turn 5 with Bike Tyson. Pino, can you confirm, does Bike Tyson have any 9s left?
I don't see any 9s left. He's thrown out all his big punches. This is more exciting than anything. He's all about the fireworks, just like the fireworks that I saw at Pleasure Island, which were quite the fireworks. After all, it was Pleasure Island,
Okay.
which you would think would have pleasurable to view fireworks.
Thanks, Pino. Now, we don't need to talk too much about fireworks. We'll see what fireworks we have on the racetrack here as, yes, it looks like Bike Tyson is a little bit more conservatively than Uncle Theo. It appears, yes, looks like Uncle Theo's going with a 6 now. Uncle Theo's going to keep the lead here. Well, the second pack, we'll see if they can actually make up some ground as they seem to have a little bit better cards to go, and they're just coming around the hill. Doesn't seem like anybody has gotten the descent bonus yet, which is a major point of efficiency. Everyone seems to be skipping right over the blue.
Well, it is true. They have to abide by their strategies, and these are kind of like AI riders. They're not fully conscious.
Yeah, I realize that, Sonny. You don't need to say that in front of them. I hope they don't hear you.
Well, they're riding bikes. I hope they wouldn't hear me.
Yeah, you're right. I hope they're probably focused on it. Although Peter Pandemic now is right in front of Finn Alm. And yeah, we still got a big gap here. So we have the main pack of the leaders of Bike Tyson, Uncle Theo. Then a bit of a gap here back to Purple Sushi, Jim Lee, and Mike Yellow. And we have a little bit less fatigue this turn. Still quite a bit of fatigue, but 6 fatigued riders instead of 7. So going into turn 6. Now we have a bit of a headwind. This will be a challenge for our riders. They're not there yet. We'll see if Uncle Theo and Bike Tyson land in the headwind section or if they're able to skip it. I don't think Bike Tyson's able to skip this because he doesn't have any 9s left. But Uncle Theo, as a rouleur, doesn't have any 9s, but maybe as a 7, might get him right to the edge of it.
I can't imagine they're going to be able to keep the lead for the entire race here.
Yeah, that would be quite the surprise. And yes, it looks like Uncle Theo's landing right in the headwind section. So that means next round, he's only going to get to draw 3 cards. There's drafting in the headwind. The second pack now led by Purple Sushi is gaining a little bit of ground against our lead pack as everyone tries to make it on the uphill. We have so many packs here that we still have a lot. Looks like a lot of fatigue is likely to be doled out here. If I'm reading this right, it looks like Peter Pandemic is 22 spaces behind the leader, and Finn Alm now is 23 as he's drafting behind him. That is quite the gap. The second pack here of Purple Sushi. Purple Sushi is 6 spaces behind Uncle Theo. This is really so far a 2-biker race with Uncle Theo and Bike Tyson. Looks like, Sonny, you're getting a handle on this drone flying thing.
Yes, I like the flying drones.
Now, this is a major relief. Plywood Raceway actually has a retractable roof and retractable walls. You see the surrounding grass is now gone. That's because we were getting so much of an infestation here during the race of what appeared to be a mix of drones and actual live bugs that we had to make it an indoor race.
Technology today is incredible.
Yes, it is, although it is getting quite hot. This is a summer night. The summer races here all tend to be sweaty affairs, which will contribute to the fatigue of all of our riders. We had 5 riders take fatigue this turn. Turn 7, we're about halfway done, and everyone is really tired, I can say that. Pino, what are you seeing?
I'm saying everybody is also so tired that I'm having trouble finding anybody that has a card that's more than a 6. In fact, I think maybe the purple sushi is rolling with a 6. Oh no, Aylmer! Watch out for Aylmer! He's gonna try and make a push here. He's trying to return at first light on the 5th day. I think it's turn 7, but it's like the 5th day down here.
Glad that you were able to do your research for the race, Pino, on the backstories of our various riders. Looks like Aylmer is trying to catch up to his teammate, who's actually keeping a little bit of a more conservative card here. He's down to a 4. We'll see how long Uncle Theo and Bike Tyson can keep their lead, as they've used up all of their good stuff as they start moving down here. At least they're going to move out of the headwind section. This is a long straightaway.
This is one of the longest straightaways in all of Le Tour de Warfield.
Thanks, Sonny. Now, you might think that there is no drafting in a headwind section because, in general, difficult sections of the track tend to not have drafting. Well, obviously being behind someone in a headwind means it's at your face. It means that drafting is going to help you out. And if I'm not mistaken, it looks like with the draft here, Purple Sushi and Jim Lee are going to be catching up now to the leaders. And yeah, that's right. They have caught up to Bike Tyson and Uncle Theo. We have a lead pack of 4 riders now. That lead evaporated pretty quickly. Now we actually have 4 separate packs here, which means we had still quite a bit of fatigue being doled out.
Yeah, it looks like someone from every team is getting fatigue, except for the Power Fist Rangers, but Finn Alm might as well be fatigued. He's 24 spots behind in last place.
Yeah, that's farther than you want to be. Now we've positioned our aerial shots to where we can't even see them on the track here. I don't know why we chose this particular position for our aerial shots as we begin turn 8. Going into this round, we have the lead pack of 4 bikes and then 10 spots behind the leader, Mike Yellow and Cosmic Encounter. Although it looks like, Mike Yellow is really going to make a push here. He wants to join that lead pack.
Well, he should want to join the lead pack. He is a sprinter. After all, these sprinters when they pull their 9s out is key part of the race, and you want to use your 9 when it's not a waste.
That's right. For those unfamiliar with the cards, a rouleur's cards range from 3 to 7, while sprinters range from 2 to 5, and then have a bunch of 9s when they really need to give it a good push. Pino, is anyone else giving it a good push this round?
Yes, Aylmer is giving it another push as he's trying to get up and catch up to his Uncle Theo.
All right, well, so keep an eye on Aylmer here and who actually comes into shot. Now, I still don't know why we've positioned our overhead camera where it is. We can't see a lot of the track.
Well, you know what our producers say, if you can't see it, it doesn't happen.
Well, I don't know if I agree with that, although it looks like Mike Yellow will be catching the lead pack here as Aylmer takes the lead in pack number 2. Yeah, it looks like we got separate packs here. Really 3 groups now. We have Finn Alm and Peter Pandemic, who are taking a leisurely stroll down this track. We got the second pack led by Aylmer and the lead pack led by fellow rider of Rohan, Uncle Theo. The riders of Rohan are really gearing up here. Look at them go. Now they've finally decided to get organized now. It's like we actually know what they're doing, except for Finn Alm and for Peter Pandemic. I don't think I know what they're doing. Can we do something about the location of this overhead? I don't think this is going to work. I can't see what's going on here.
Well, I have fatigue by 3 riders. Don't worry, Jack. I'll do the play-by-play if you're not.
No. Don't worry about Sonny. Sonny, I got this. Okay, so thank you. But we will be going back now down to Pino. Pino, is that it for the 9s? Do we have any more 9s to expect?
Well, our slow guys in the back, Finn Alm and Peter Pandemic, still have their 9s. But besides that, I don't know that anyone has a 9 left because Mike Tyson and Aylmer don't appear to have a lot of juice left And Mike Yellow might have a 9, but I don't think so. Things are getting nervous now. And Boat Ship and the Res Rohan are getting nervous about their ability to keep this lead.
Thanks, Pino. Yeah, I can see where that concern is coming from, as they're coming down now to the final uphill. Well, it looks like Uncle Theo's trying to get a bit of a gap. Yeah, he may be able to extend a gap. He was getting nervous, so he's busting what he can out of his bike. He's putting out a 5, which for a sprinter is the second fastest card you can deploy. The rest of the riders, but he's going to get tired here, and so will his buddy A.O. Murr, unless someone else can jump out in front in that second pack.
I don't believe we're going to see that. It looks like there's maybe a bit of drafting going on, and I have to say, the Twilight Children are doing a good job drafting.
Yeah, and we can't see what's going on with Finn Elm and Peter Pandemic right now. I like to see, are they still way behind? Wow, they're 26 spots back. Okay, I don't know what they're planning to do here, but Uncle Theo is trying to make a bit of a breakaway. It looks like he was trying to get to that downhill, but fell a little bit short. That would have been a nice boost to keep a lead over the rest of that pack, which is separately led now by Purple Sushi, who takes a fatigue card. We got Bike Tyson has got to hope he's got something up his sleeve, or up the wrist of his boxing glove here, because he used a lot of his strength early on in the bout. Now we're loading up the fatigue cards. We have 5 fatigue cards to give out in this turn as we get ready for turn 10. Now, only being at turn 10 after how long has this race been going on, Sonny?
Well, I think it's been going on for a long time, Jack.
Yeah, that's right. So we have not made a lot of progress. It looks like some of these strategies may need to be adjusted before the second run of the Tour de Warfield, because these strategies are not taking advantage of the track. No one got any of the downhill bonuses yet, and a lot of riders are overriding going into the hills. So we have a lot of fatigue getting built up. The impact of this race will surely be felt for several rounds here. So it's not just about winning, it's about surviving. And Uncle Theo is trying to get out of this race alive. He's made it to the turn, but it looks like whoa, hold on. Whoa, do you see that? Sonny, what's going on down there? Get the drone out.
Oh, I'm trying to see. Sorry, I hit the edge of the garage getting the drone out.
Looks like they rectified the situation anyway. It looked like the track was falling apart there as Uncle Theo had ridden to the edge of the track. I mean, we know we have a retractable roof and retractable floor and retractable walls, but that doesn't mean that the structural integrity of the place is fully guaranteed. We got to ensure the safety of our riders, and thankfully looks like Uncle Theo is okay. But they are getting jumbled up in the first pack.
Jack, I wonder if the second pack now is going to have a chance to catch up. It'll depend on how they handle this uphill.
That's right, and does Finn Alm, Pino, have you talked to Finn Alm's team or Peter Pandemic's team? Do they have any plans here?
No, I'm going to be honest. They seem pretty frustrated with their riders. It seems like they're being a little bit too conservative.
I would say so. Looks like they're now 25 and 26 spots behind. The entire race is only 72 spots. Let's see. Wow. Okay. Sonny, you're getting a little close there with the drone.
Oh, sorry. No, I just want to make sure I don't hit the riders. Wasn't that a great shot? Wasn't that a great camera shot?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Just be careful. Okay, careful what you go with that drone. Now we had 5 fatigue cards this turn. Going in now to turn 11. Turn 11, we have a 5-rider gap between the first group, which have Jim Lee and Mike Yellow at the back, and Cosmic Encounter, who's 9 spots behind the leader, but 5 spots behind Mike Yellow. Pino, is anyone else has something up their sleeve this round?
Well, it looks like maybe Maple Pleaser is someone to keep an eye on. He just put down a 7. I think that's the fastest one, except, oh no, Peter Pandemic is pulling out a 9. Oh, he's doing it.
Uh-oh. Okay, now it looks like it's go time for Peter Pandemic. Sonny, did you feel that?
Sorry, I keep moving the drone around. I hit the blip.
Sonny, you really got to get a handle on that. But don't let that distract you from the fact that we have, it looks like, a new leader. Do you smell fish?
Well, I certainly hope not. There tend to be bears around here.
No, that was a turn of phrase. Purple Sushi has used the downhill coming out of the second hill here to boost right in front of Uncle Theo, and she's followed by Bike Tyson. Purple Sushi is our new leader, as the second group is also coming dangerously close to the first group. We only have 1 turn left in the race, and we finally have a new leader that isn't Bike Tyson or Uncle Theo. It's Purple Sushi who is holding it back. Meanwhile, Purple Sushi's teammate has now lost the draft to Peter Pandemic and is 24 spots back of the leader as things are getting a little bit cramped here at the final turns.
Yeah, they're coming right into the tailwind section. Purple Sushi is going to be sitting pretty. We'll see if she can finish it off.
Yeah, and Phenom is just trying to get a good view of how Purple Sushi's doing. He'll be coming by on the other side of the track as she passes near to the finish. I don't endorse that particular strategy. Only 4 fatigue cards here. Purple Sushi, Escape Pastis, Peter Pandemic, and Phenom now getting their fatigue cards.
Yeah, like try to get a better view here.
Oh, do you guys hear that? Hold on, what's going on with the blimp? Okay, the blimp's got a weird camera angle. Oh no! Jeez!
Jack, you there? Pino, get Jack.
I didn't see Jack. Jack, get up. I'll save you. Just like I saved Geppetto from the belly of the whale. Let me get you out.
Oh, thank God, Pino, you're here. Well, let's get back in the blimp. Let's fire it back up. Sonny, fire it up.
Are you sure? Okay.
Okay, let's go. We're back in here. Oh, no, look, we hit the riders. Who is that? Looks like Nice Please and Christio Furlow and Ale Murph been hit by a blip. Oh, no, they're fine. Okay, moving now into turn 12. We're just going to move on with the rest of the race. Now, turn 12. Now, it might be some additional fatigue by the riders hit by some of that. Is everyone okay now? Pino, are you okay?
I'm fine. I know how to save people from situations like that.
Thank God you were there, Pino. I don't know how we would have gotten out of that one. Now, we go to turn 12. Pino, do you have any idea what's going on now?
Yes, I also know that maybe out of frustration, our fastest cards appear to be coming from Escape Pastis, People Pleaser, and Christio Furlow. They must really want to get off this track because it's not safe. I can tell you that. It's not safe down here.
Thanks, Pino. We don't need that hammer to point too much. We need our viewers and we need sponsors. If you would like to sponsor any of the future races and potentially fund our getting a better blimp, we need a better blimp. If you want to sponsor a race, all you have to do is comment below what you want to name one of the races in the series. And if you're a member, you will get to do whatever you want. You can name it whatever you want. And if we run out of names, we'll go members first. We'll get to do the names. And then subscribers. So if you support Jackson's Warfield, you can actually not only improve our equipment a little bit, but get these races named after you. Now, looks like we have now the first pack is being broken up. Purple Sushi has now extended a gap here.
That's right, Purple Sushi. Maybe they're starting to smell fish here and the people are avoiding Purple Sushi. It is pretty hot. I wouldn't want to be leaving the sushi out for nearly 3 hours, which is how long this race has gone.
Pino, I don't see... Pino, what's going on? Any fatigue cards being placed? Pino, what's up?
It was a wise cricket, and he definitely wasn't swapped out for a mealworm kind of.
Okay, we have a lot of confusion here. It looks like we do have 7 riders taking fatigue cards, but our footage losing battery here. We got technical difficulties, and we did not able to see those fatigue cards getting added to the deck. But at least we can see now the next round. We're coming now to turn 13. Purple Sushi is within striking distance of the finish line here and has a 3-spot lead on Bike Tyson. Does anyone have a way to get up to Purple Sushi here, or has anyone shot their shot? Pino, what do you see? Pino, are you back?
Sorry about that. I had a bit of a disagreement with the race control team for the Power Fist Rangers, but it does look like there's not many people have a chance to catch up to Purple Sushi. You know, they've all shot their shot. We have proverbial shot all over the boxes. You know, there's not much left.
All right, thanks, Pino. I would get away from the C-word riders pit if you're talking about too much proverbial shot being laid down. You see, they look like they're all used up here. As we come into now, looks like we have, maybe we have a big second pack now. That's a 4-space lead by the Purple Sushi. Purple Sushi just needs to go 4 spaces in the next turn here. That's actually, 5-space lead on Bike Tyson and Uncle Theo. Coming into the final round here, can she finish it off, or will she buy more time for Finn Elm to try and recover? Yeah, this is an interesting spot.
That's right. The Power Fist Rangers may try to delay the finish here to try and give Finn Elm a chance to recover and use his 9s, which he has not busted out.
It's really a questionable strategy here. Now, I don't know what's going to happen here. This may be the last turn of the race now, and that's a major second pack. Everybody outside of the green team outside of Boulder Dash with Cosmic Encounter and Peter Pandemic and Aomer and Finn Almans are in that second pack. What's going on? Seriously, I don't see anything going on here. Where's the footage? We lost. I'm getting word now that we have lost battery on our box cam. Pino, what happened there?
No, we are out of power. It is over 90 degrees here. We're all sweaty. Everyone shot their shot. It's a mess down here.
Okay, and it looks like, wow, it looks like Purple Sushi has landed right short of the finish line. And that may be a mistake. Christy O'Furlow has jumped all the way up now in turn 14. Now, we didn't know what he played. It looks like he must have played a 7. He'd been holding back. Christy O'Furlow is only 3 behind the leader. He's within striking distance. Now, that's still a bit of a gap to overcome here, but he's a conservative rouleur. He may have some energy left in the tank. Purple Sushi, Christy O'Furlow, Aomer, Peter Panwick, and Finn Ulm are taking fatigue cards. Has to be the last round, because even a fatigue card will now bring the Purple Sushi across the finish line.
Well, that sushi definitely smells questionable. It is really hot in here. I've been sweating for quite a while.
Sonny, now we're at turn 15. This is the last turn of the race. You know, we don't need to complain too much about the conditions that we're faced with here. We do got to keep our eyes on whether anyone can catch up to the Purple Sushi, or did the Purple Power Fist Rangers play this one perfectly? And coming into the final turn, what are we going to have? Who has a trick up their sleeve? Pino, are you seeing anything?
If I'm not mistaken, it looks like Christy Cream has brought out the cream.
I'm sorry, what does that mean?
Christy Cream, he's bringing a cream.
He's got a 7 ready to go. Let's see if he is able to bring it. He's only got one-handed cards. Christy Cream is making a push.
He's going to do it. He's going to show us why he's called Christy Cream.
I still don't know what that means. But if that means he's going to win the race, and he's passing, yes, Chris T. O'Furlow has passed the Purple Sushi at the finish line. The way Flamme Rouge works is if you both cross the finish line in the same lap, whoever goes further past gets the win. And wow, what do you know? Escape Pastis says come into third. Now that came out of nowhere as well, as everyone's starting to trickle by. We got a big pack led by Uncle Theo, who didn't quite have the energy in him to finish the race, and then Bike Tyson. But our top 3, Chris T.O. Furlow with the win at the Field of War 72. The Purple Sushi second, and Escape Pastis is in third. That's our finishing results today. Taking a quick look at the number of, there is our excited. There's Mr. O'Furlow. There's Chris T. Cream himself. And he did it without much in the way of exhaustion cards. The Twilight Children did a great job today avoiding exhaustion. And I don't know what Finn Ulm's plan was, but here we go, the exhaustion cards. So half of these cards, rounded down, will carry over to the next race. With the most exhaustion cards, we had Peter Pandemic, who really that was not a good strategy. He was probably going to change his strategy going into the next race, as well as Finn Ulm will. They're going in with 5 and 4 exhaustion cards respectively for round 2. Uncle Theo got a lot of fatigue, lead much of that race with 10 exhaustion cards, carrying 5 over to the next race. But both Mike Yellow and Chris T. O'Furlow are going with only 1 exhaustion card, with great position to take a commanding lead of Tour de Warfield. Thanks for tuning in. Again, if you would like to sponsor a future race, just comment what the heck you want it to be called. Members get priority, subscribers get second priority. For Sunnyfield and Pinocchio, I'm Jack War, and we'll see you in the next race on Jackson's Warfield.